Hey, check this out. Did you know that there were actually Israelites in the land of Ethiopia? In the book of Zephaniah, chapter 3, verse 10, it reads, "From beyond the rivers of Ethiopia, my suppliants, even the daughter of my dispersed, shall bring mine offering." Now, if you look right here, this is a book called The Central Ethiopians, Amhara, Tigrina, and Related Peoples, Northeastern Africa, Part 4 by William A. Shedd. Now, inside this book, it reads, "The country of the Amhara and Tigrina extends over the free physiographic regions referred to as the Lava Plateau, which itself is dissected by the Blue Nile Valley region, hence the Blue Nile, all right, and the crystalline highlands, the latter sometimes known by the name Eritrean highlands, include North Begamdir, Western Tigray, and Northwestern Eritrea." Now, in that same chapter, the Bible also says in verse 12, "I will also leave in the midst of thee an afflicted and poor people, and they shall trust in the name of the Lord." Now, here is where it gets interesting. Now, this is an article dated in June 29th, 2023. All right, this is just literally like 6 months ago. And it's an article by Germa Burnu, which reads, "The New Frontier of Anti-Semitism, Racial Discourse, and Oromo Extremism in Ethiopia." Now, inside this article, it says Dawit 2023 succinctly remarked that it is the opinion of every legal expert involving in studying the crimes against the Amharas in Ethiopia that genocide has and is being committed in Ethiopia with the intention of ethnic cleansing and establishing a Kushite empire. According to Kush media and Oromo literatures, Semites, Amharas, and Tigrians are considered colonizers of the Kushites in a very strange twist of history. To this end, genocide, crimes against humanity, and war crimes have been committed in the last 4 years, causing the death of 3 million people and a displacement of 4 million Amharas. Now, in this same article, it says, "The latest scheme from the OLF and its allied Oromo People's Democratic Organization, OPDO, has been to declare an alleged North-South conflict based on racial narratives of Semites versus Kushites." Okay? Semites versus Kushites. So the Amharians and the Tigrians are the Shemites, and the Oromo people are the Kushites, the ancient Ethiopians, the actual natives of the land. Now it reads, "The OLF classify Oromos as Kushites, and as such, they are honest, hardworking, and sadly oppressed." Right? Then it goes on to say, "This stands in contrast to the Amhara, who as a Semitic people are portrayed as deceitful, parasitic, and exploitive. The echoes of Nazi ideology are all too evident to ignore, as is the fact that this manufactured racial cleavage is a copy-paste version of the Hutu power discourse of Rwanda in the late 20th century." Now, doesn't this sound way too familiar? Doesn't this sound like the same exact oppression and narrative that was being produced by the white Americans to the so-called African Americans, who are also the Israelites according to the Bible? Didn't whites call themselves pure and honest and all-loving and white? And then they dehumanized and demoralized the blacks in America, calling them evil, dark, black, devilish, and things in that nature. The Oromo people are doing the same oppression to the Amharians and the Tigrians. This is evidence of exactly what we read in the Bible in Zephaniah chapter 3, verse 12, where it says, "I will also leave in the midst of thee," in the midst of who? Ethiopia, beyond the rivers of Ethiopia, "an afflicted and poor people." These are the Amharians and the Tigrians. "And they shall trust in the name of the Lord." The Amharians and the Tigrians, you are the Israelites, according to the Bible. You are God's chosen people, and your enemy knows this.